Alex Collier, Letters from Andromeda, November 1996. Notes from the publisher. Our experiences upon this beautiful planet are quickening faster than most of us are aware of. Change is in the air and the wind is poised for a gale force. All must become aware that a change in our intent can bring upon this world either great happenings or disastrous events. It is truly our choice. Within these pages are great truths. Terms of intent, responsibility, determination, belief and love. All these ideals must have action taken upon them if we are to move in a direction of positive growth. Recently I heard that it did not matter if we do anything because it has already happened. Well, I am telling you now with utmost truth and conviction, don't fall into that trap. Whether we are playing a game in the past or in the present, change based upon responsible actions set forth by your intent leads to change, regardless of the position in the line. I also have a message to all who know that they have certain responsibilities during this lifetime. You must now go about doing whatever you must do, that is energy, light work, teaching, etc. for each is important, and you must complete your tasks on time. Some will finish ahead of others. They are laying the path for others to do their work as well. Time is short. What are you waiting for? Some quick notes of importance. The call to action in the last newsletter has been receiving life and support globally. It is imperative that we keep this movement going. We are almost ready for Alex's presentation of our Terran proposal to the Andromedan Council and associated member races for their consideration and responses. We will, as intended, keep you advised as to the responses that come as the result of this document. I would also like to point out a publication that circulates globally and embraces sharing the Andromedan information from Alex. These people and others are very loving and are doing their part in our awakening. We urge you to check them out and show support if you feel moved to do so. From time to time we share other sources that we feel support the Andromedan perspectives, for knowledge must be brought forward, not suppressed. Let me close with a quote from the main character in the movie Phenomenon. Everything is on its way somewhere. By sharing your interests and concerns with others, they take with them a bit of your consciousness. Now, more than ever, we need to get out and speak our truth. Go with peace, love, and the knowing that the Creator is always with you as we travel and experience in creation. John. Editorial by Alex Collier. Recently, I've had a great deal of reflection on my teachings and experiences with the friends from Andromeda. I remembered the discussions regarding children and the teachers teaching teachers, the law of consistency, and the evolvement of all of a race, as opposed to the few who consider themselves elite or other such crap. I've watched the Andromedans people. They, as a race, consistently expect and offer mutual respect of and to each other. The Andromedans are a healed race, whose pride is in every one of their culture. After spending time with them and having then to return to our Earth, there have been times that I've been embarrassed by the selfishness and destructive nature of our planetary race. What I've learned in my many, but few, years on Earth about our race is this. A human being whose heart shows no passion, is a person without a life. A human being that doesn't give from the heart, is a person who will tell you lies. A human being whose heart is committed to nothing, is a person who doesn't try to achieve anything, and has no goals. A human being who is not willing to risk or take chances for love, is a person who is empty inside. These things I've learned with my own interacting with our race. I'm saddened to say that many people on our Earth carry the denial of their self-royalty. They, and all of us, are love. Born of love, connected to love and created in love. Love is. And it will conquer all denial, in time. I admit that we all battle with fear within. The fear can rattle the soul, like a thunderous wind against a house. We must hold on, in the belief that still unbroken, our souls trust the light of self to guide us through the night. All the while life rushes right by us, never ceasing to wait for any of us. I've taken the time to rest and listen to my heartbeat. I stand unbending in my commitment to our race and my family. But you all must do your part. And our part is to teach what know. It's also to hold on to your loved ones. Be eager to laugh. Be dedicated to family. And be dedicated to each other. Every day is the sweetest day I know. And even when the memories have faded away, I'll still have the sweetest days, each day. My heart demands a change in our world. That is one of the reasons I share my experiences with you. Thank you for your interest, and thank you for becoming the teachers you've always been. Be at one with all there is. You might as well. You already are. Alex. Moreni, The Period of Sincerity. Please don't confuse our compassion for your races with a love for your planet. Please understand that they are separate with our race. We are neither pleased with your world's riches, nor dismayed by its poverty. We come here to assist in the period of sincerity. The clarifying of the original intent of all of us is this vide holograph. Because of lineage to your races, we return to you. Your world is a place of veiled consciousness. In order to be embodied in physicalness, all lower frequencies should be assembled in a whole intent. The very distresses, the many anxieties are the result of conflict with the limitless awareness in your races. This is the reason why your planet races cannot attain your own selves. Your desire to possess everything means this also. The reflection of the evolutionary state of your physicality causes your races not to live comfortable on your planet. Your present religions causes your races to unify your physical bodies with your abstract egos. You call this progress. We do not. Stop looking to your physicality to bring your enlightenment. Your bodies are the effect of the cause, which is intent moved by emotion, which creates physicality. During previous pastimes in your third density, education of the soul took many incarnations of life and death of the physical body. Situations and reincarnations would reflect this system, it appears. All beings would transcend your physicalness in accordance with the degree of the consciousness attained. Since it appears that your races, having no concept of the law of consistency, became very fragmented in extremes. Religions became divisions of beliefs, and conflicts among your races took place. The worship of belief systems and idolatry came into existence. Now the technology of advanced races and higher densities have taken control of your evolutionary systems. By means of these systems, control the evolution of certain, and reincarnations are now becoming history, and by this means, your races, Alex and others than yours, have a probability of directly attaining your full senses. The reason for telling you this truth in all clarity is to free you of the conflicts and contradictions so your races can attain the truth as soon as possible. So don't ask us about yourself, ask about yourself to your own self. If your races cannot attain the truth and cannot be unified with your original intent, we will not be able to be in touch with your planet races. Since the ego consciousness in your races still goes on, and since you cannot break the denial of your inner self, your race becomes detrimental to your planet and to your planetary system. At this moment, there are many beings who cannot attain genuine respect for self and self-awareness in our galaxy. They as well are being kept under control. Their evolutions are being made in an indirect way. Your races have also been persecuted and manipulated by other galactic races from planetary systems negatively charged other than your own. Since during your different past time periods they have tried to prove to your ancestor their own technical power, fear has been created in your races. We have returned to convey the truth to erase these fears. Since your planet is the site of both the most primitive and most high maturity, is very full of contradictions. Your religions, which helped many to evolve, have not been released. Your races have refused to let go of a system of beliefs that have not serviced your planet for the last 453 rotations of your star. By freeing you of this, with the use of common sense, we hope your races will attain your own selves and become fully independent. Be at one. Morani, November 3, 1996. Morani, prepare and invest. Alex, we have already spoken with you in detail of your race's genetic transfers and reincarnation before. I will mention them again when necessary because your path and happiness depend on being able to attain the truth. Yes, we are aware of the situation of your planet show great deviation off the right path in the sincerity period. But please, if you would try to share this moment in your planet's evolution as a preparation for the investments, which will be made in the very near future for your races. Since the removal of conditions by density technology, your evolution is going at a faster pace, I think you say, than before. Note, here Morani paused in the middle of the talk to listen to information regarding movement of craft around Uranus. He smiled and then resumed. We have had to raise the frequency of your planet to move change and enlightenment along. Such a broad word you use, this word, enlightenment. It was necessary. This also means that great tests of tolerances will be caused by delusionary discriminations between your peoples. At the present moment your races are carrying in your DNA genetics the influences of 1,000 centuries, as your count rotations, both the positive and negative aspect. Please understand we are trying to prepare your races for advanced maturity. At present moment many transfers occur in your planet from many different cultures and planes. Each member of the races on and in your planet will naturally exhibit their own mentality. They do and will contradict your habitual cultures. But please do not forget that we have told you about mental conflicts cause each to go through test of maturity. We determine your mentalities through the impulse signals we receive from your race's chain of thoughts. Now the selection of men or women in the situations they transcend are much more difficult, because their preparation of the future is in accordance with their levels of consciousness. There is no intercession. Whatever is created will manifest itself. Alex, you cannot help all your races. Each member of your races will feel their essence in the balancing of positive and negative as they have done, and it will be weighed in their own consciousness. Those who prepare and invest will be prepared for the evolution to another density. The countenance of your planet is changing quickly. Marani, November 4, 1996. Remember, a poem. There are times when I sit and ponder why it all must be. We've made our choices, you and I. Amnesia, I am you and you are me. Remember, we must create our destiny. The light grows brighter each passing day, filtering through our densely woven, self-created veil. You and I, us and them, must listen, feel, and see within. Onward and upward. Remember, we must become our destiny. We need to know we hold the key to all that's true reality. What we see, we feel, we make. Following the path we chose so long ago, we've forgotten our reasons and stumble and fall, wearing blinders of our own creation. But don't lose heart. Do not despair. We are loved. Remember, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Wake up, I say, within yourselves, and radiate your essence. Show yourself your true self, knowing. Project your love, your light so grand, and know that it is truth. Remember, we are destiny. Deborah K. Robinson. Questions and answers. If we have such a genetic structure involving 22 races, why do we have disease? There are 2 reasons we have disease. We've totally polluted our environment, which we are responsible for. Chemicals in the water and the air. We've made a disaster out of everything, thinking that science will fix it. The second reason we are short-lived is because many tens of thousands of years ago, a great group of extraterrestrials came here and said, "Oh my God, look at these people. They are humans and they have all these genetics, and they are incredibly powerful. We can never control them unless we take away 10 strands of their DNA out. Then we will be able to control them forever. They will never be able to evolve physically and spiritually at the same time." That's exactly what happened. We originally had 12 strands of DNA, 10 have been taken out of us as a race, tens and tens of thousands of years ago. This is the result. We all know it's there, we just don't know how to get there. According to the Andromedans, it's our physical form that's holding us back. Our physical form was manipulated to keep us as workers. Is there any way for us to get our DNA back? Because of the changes that are going on here, and certain other influences which have not been made specific to me, our DNA is now apparently stretching, and a 3rd strand of DNA is now being formed within us. It could be that we are tired of waiting and we are calling it down ourselves, just saying enough is enough. I understand there are some extraterrestrial influences doing that, as well as this new 12th density. It is stretching everyone's awareness and physical forms so that we adapt to the new energies that are coming in. The result is the stretching of our DNA and a new strand being added. Getting to the year 2013 sound really good to me. It's just the next 20 years that I'm having some trouble with. I understand where we are now, I understand the Greys are here, the Draconians are here, and I understand 2013. How do we get there from here? There will be a shedding of physical form, but no one really ever dies. Just take it one day at a time. The Andromedans would much prefer that we take responsibility for our own reality. They are very, very concerned about wanting to be our savior, especially with the connotations it has on our planet and in our consciousness. They simply do not want that role, whatsoever. Which is why certain information and certain energies are occurring that are bringing a lot of this awareness to light. People are starting to wake up and say, "Hey, what's going on?" Because, ultimately, if we do it ourselves, then we've all learned the lesson once and for all. If someone else comes in and does it for us, and it doesn't turn out, we have someone to blame, and we're not taking responsibility for it. Since the soul is eternal, we can create this all over again, if need be, if we don't get it right this time. My very small part is to help. That I get it and we all get it. I hope that we'd prefer not to have to deal with this anymore. Our leap in consciousness. For thousands of years, religion and science have been at odds with each other, causing confusion, chaos, wars, fear, deception, and displacement of creative vision. We are going to witness and experience in the next 10 years, 2004, the release of facts regarding our ancient languages, and the explorers of our past, and the discoveries of archaeology and astronomy. These truths of our past origins will point to an incredibly bright future. To put it more simply, our new spiritual realization or leap of consciousness will come from the quiet field of science and archaeology and not from religion. It is going to be science that's going to give us the boost we need for leaping. It's not going to be religion, spiritual teaching. It's going to be science, facts. It's going to say this is who we really are. This is going to be an incredible shift for a lot of people, especially the debunkers, because here they are, resting their laurels, and basing their realities on science, and science is going to turn right around and totally blow them away on a conscious level. The barriers of race, religious doctrine, politics and philosophy will completely shatter in the next 10 years. That's 2004. By then, things will be well on their way. You'll be sitting by your televisions wanting to see the news, just to find out what they discovered today. The discoveries that we will become part of are as follows. Scientific proof of dimensions and higher self/spiritual consciousness. I don't know how they are going to prove it. Reincarnation will be scientifically proven and demonstrated. The acknowledgement of other life in the galaxy and our universe. Ample proof already exists on the Moon, Mars and on Earth, and will be shared with humanity. Could be that we have a group of renegade scientists who just say enough is enough. Face-to-face contact with other extraterrestrial races will occur. It will actually happen a lot sooner than in 10 years, but within the next 10 years we will have contact with at least 9 different races. The introduction of 3 clean energy devices based on the magnetic fields of energy that permeate all existence. The Earth is in fact hollow, and capable of sustaining human life very comfortably. Also, the existence of a city known as Collier within the hollow Earth originally built by Lyrans. The rediscovery of the lost land of Atlantis and the Atlantic. In the Pacific, a very large temple complex, still intact, once belonging to Lemuria, will also be discovered. Now, according to the Andromedans, we are going to share in these discoveries. Which means, if you know the reputations of the powers that be are now, you can imagine what they are going to fight. This is what we are going to find out about. The reality that all we perceive in the physical is a holographic imprint that is directed and created from a higher portion of ourselves. Human consciousness is not in the brain, but located in its entirety in the energy field and or the aura. Our past and present educational processes have not prepared us to be completely conscious creative thinkers, but more like robots that can be shaped by peer pressure. Organic and plant life forms do exist on 7 planets and 15 moons in our solar system. The rediscovery that each of us is a part of the whole of the universe. We are a significant part of that idea that we call God. And God is the idea of love. This accelerating self-discovery being experienced throughout the universe was created and activated by all of us in the universe. We as a byproduct of extraterrestrial genetic manipulation are possessors of a vast gene pool that has many different racial memory banks of, at least, 22 extraterrestrial races in our DNA. Because of our genetic heritage of having these 22 different races, we are all considered royalty. All we need to do is acknowledge it, acknowledge ourselves, and seize our true history. In other words, the only fear we have is the fear of, that we are. After we accomplish this, we can free ourselves from the conditioning and programming of our creator gods and or extraterrestrials. We need to learn to accept our uniqueness, and planetary adulthood, and know that we are our own inheritance. Only then can we honestly and maturely create our own future the way we want it to be. What is the future? Here is their definition: responsible freedom of self-determination, becoming truly self-confident and free to unconditionally be responsible for oneself, without being coerced to accept some higher authority. The reason our planet has not had mass contact as a race, is because as a race, we don't remember who and what we are. In other words, we're having a severe identity crisis. It also means that there are few working this Earth who remember other planetary existences or even previous life forms, let alone previous lifetimes. Some have sought spiritual development through various healing methodologies and mediation in the hopes of enlightenment. The Andromedans have taught, and are teaching, that judgments both present life and past life must be cleared from the cellular imprint of the soul. As one does achieve this, one becomes aware of other planetary existences, and one's true planetary heritage. We have limitless possibilities to be and find satisfaction, joy and fulfillment in our lives and in our relationships with one another. By rediscovering direct contact with our own essence of being, we can remember freedom that is not only freedom from external restraints, but also free expression, meaning and value of what it is to truly be a human being. Most of us have been working around thinking this is it. Apparently our perception of this gift which we have, means severe tuning out, in their opinion. Apparently we are really blessed to have the forms we have and have the genetics that we have. This lack of self-knowledge and understanding is itself the root of our problems on many different levels. Once relearned, this intrinsic freedom becomes a lived and practiced reality, that all the other freedoms will naturally follow after that. Once we have learned to take responsibility for ourselves. Apparently not on a third density level, but on the other levels as well. Alex.